Donovan Mitchell is a superstar. Make no mistake about it.
I just want to start this video off by saying that Danny Ainge is a savage. Bro is trying to win Executive of the Year while having the worst team in NBA history. That was a joke, but trust me when I say that this man is only getting started. I followed Danny Ainge too long and I know exactly the type of damage that he can do. Just look at the Rudy Gobert trade. This Donovan Mitchell situation so far has been absolute anarchy. There are a section of Knicks fans who see the upside of acquiring a player like Mitchell, and then there are a section of fans who want to play the long game and don't want to push all their chips in like they did for Carmelo in 2011. The Knicks trading for Melo was a movie to watch from a distance, but I'd like to ask my Knicks fans in the comments section, was it worth it? I'd like to follow that question up by asking basically the same question, but for Donovan Mitchell. Is a potential Donovan Mitchell trade worth it for the New York Knicks? Mitch is an electric scorer, one of the best in the league today. While there are some questions about his fit in New York, if the Knicks were able to acquire him, the upside is obvious. A bona fide star in one of the NBA's biggest markets. If you're able to keep Barrett and not give up too much, things could get interesting. Especially if Mitch helps to get RJ and the remaining squad back into meaningful games. Then who knows what talent that you may be able to attract. That being said, I really do still have some doubts, but of course this is natural with any trade. I feel like it's important to have a balanced approach when addressing these things. Some of the updates that I'm going to present to you in this video may shock you because they sure shocked me, but anyways, let's go ahead and get into it. August 29th, RJ's extension would be announced. This extension would be for 4 years and up to $120 million. In short, this would be a massive extension. According to Woj, Barrett's extension would make him the youngest $100 million player in Knicks history at 22 years old. Also, Barrett would become the Knicks' first-round pick to secure an extension with the franchise since Charlie Ward, who was drafted almost 30 years ago. Whenever I bring this up, I also have to bring up the fact that the Knicks also recently re-signed Mitchell Robinson, who agreed to a 4-year, $60 million deal, which was beautifully constructed, might I add. But anyways, Big Mitch would only be a second-round pick, meaning that his signing wouldn't end the Knicks' drought that had been ongoing since 1999. I'm sure upon hearing this information, you guys have to be wondering, well, what in the world happened to all the Knicks picks during this time period? 23 years is quite a while. Well, a number of players would either be traded away like Kristaps Porzingis, who was selected 4th overall in 2015, or they just wouldn't live up to their draft status like Frank Ntilikina or Kevin Knox. Now, before I get back into talking about RJ's extension, I just want to say congratulations. This is a massive extension and it's something to be excited about no matter where you play your basketball next. That being said, this extension is kind of messy. According to Woj, this extension would end weeks of New York Knicks/Utah trade talks on Mitchell, forcing teams to start discussions over with significantly different deal parameters because of the poison pill provision. Now, for those of you that are confused about what this poison pill provision does, according to Trevor Lane, what this does is it makes it so the Jazz have to count him as a much higher salary for trade purposes than the Knicks do. To quote Hoops Hype, the poison pill provision arises if a team extends a player's rookie scale contract and then trades him before the extension officially takes effect. It's a rare situation, but it features its own set of rules since extensions following rookie contracts often create a large gap between a player's current and future salaries. If a player is traded between the time his rookie contract is extended and when that extension takes effect, the player's incoming value for the receiving team is the average of his current year's salary and the annual salary in each year of his extension. His current team, on the other hand, simply treats his current year's salary as the outgoing figure for matching purposes. Out of 179 players who've had the poison pill restriction, only one was traded, and that trade happened back in 2008, and that trade was Devin Harris. What's fun is that everything that I've said so far is really only just the beginning of this entire mess. According to Woj, New York's Leon Rose set a Monday night deadline with Utah to reach an agreement on a trade for Mitchell, or the Knicks would commit to a Barrett extension. Sources say, while the Knicks and the Jazz closed the gap on deal points in recent days, neither would go further to basically make the deal happen. Now, when I first saw all of this, my first thought was, oh wow, this is getting kind of ugly. And then I also thought, well, ugly might be the only way to deal with Danny Ainge. Perhaps you have to beat him at his own game, whatever that is. You don't want to end up being Brooklyn. That just wouldn't be ideal for New York, who has a lot of young talent and also, in my opinion, has all of the leverage. As of right now, Mitchell is just letting things play themselves out. He's chilling, but I kind of feel like he's getting restless, and of course this is just a hunch. Apparently he recently removed Utah Jazz guard from his Twitter bio. Now the thing is, even with this poison pill stuff and Barrett's extension, reportedly the Jazz and Knicks can still find a pathway to a Donovan Mitchell trade. It's just a lot harder to do. Bear in mind that according to East Sidery, RJ Barrett was reportedly offered in various trade packages to the Jazz for Donovan Mitchell, but New York held firm on not including him in too many unprotected draft picks and Quentin Grimes. I love how Quentin Grimes' name is kind of just in there. It's like everybody knows that despite his rookie numbers not blasting off the screen, that he's still really good with really good upside. I don't know if it's Leon Rose trying to deal with Danny Ainge or what it is, but for whatever reason, the Knicks' reluctance to trade Quentin Grimes is giving me Terry Rozier vibes. Now, don't get it confused. I like Grimes a lot as a player and get why fans are so high on him. My question is just that if the Knicks are so high on him, what's their vision for him with Donovan Mitchell, RJ Barrett, and Jalen Brunson? You know what? Contrary to popular belief, the Knicks actually have solid depth or potential at their guard positions, at least in my opinion. Now, Knicks fans, don't get mad at me. I'm just like you guys. I'm trying to see the big picture, and I really just want Grimes to get his opportunity to develop. If there's one thing that frustrates me in the NBA, it's players with great potential not getting the opportunity to showcase it.
Grimes fakes, Grimes drives, nice feed to Robinson.
I'm going to remain silent on Cam Reddish for this video just because I know how Thibs can be. But it is worth noting that NY Post Berman reported that the Lakers would have interest in Cam Reddish if Don were to be traded to NY. Mind you that Cam Reddish is only 22. He's 6'8" and has a 7'1" wingspan. Like Kevin Durant said in that tweet, the future of the NBA is wings. He believes that, and so do I, and I've been saying that before that tweet. The reality of things for LA is that you could never have too many players like Cam Reddish, a guy with 3-and-D capabilities and also a lot of scoring upside. If by any chance there is a member of the New York coaching staff watching this video, please give your young players the opportunity to grow. Notice I didn't just say play. Every time I talk about the Knicks and upside, I feel like I have to show some love to Obi's late season run. As I stated earlier, the Knicks currently have talent. It just so happens that they're faced with a dilemma that is instant gratification as opposed to playing the long game. To get back to RJ Barrett, I really don't get all the hate. While he isn't currently on the level of his 2018 draft mates who were taken before him, Zion Williamson and Ja Morant, he's still pretty freaking good. Barrett is currently one of only 5 players in NBA history to amass 3,000 points, 1,000 rebounds, and 200 three-pointers before their 22nd birthday. Though the efficiency and true shooting percentage of RJ needs some work, RJ Barrett is still only 22 and is fresh off of averaging 20 points and 5 boards. He did this with no real ball movement and what was an LA Fitness style offense. I understand using advanced stats in certain situations, but they should never be your whole argument. Because again, for young players, they just don't tell the full story. See Darius Garland, see Brandon Ingram. Early in these players' career, they were hated on because of some advanced stats. Again, I understand that the situations are different. I guess you could just say that I have faith in RJ. And with the future cap projections and all that stuff, I have faith in that contract aging pretty decently at worst. Let me know what you guys think of this entire situation and Don potentially joining the New York Knicks in the comments below. Clicking the video on the screen right now is a great way to support my channel. I'm GETLIKECOOP, bringing you guys the scoop until our next upload.